Love and Marriage Huntsville is making a splash online, y'all. Specifically, Sunni Minx and her new husband, Moses, who we now know was once dating Destiny Payton. What makes it so cringeful for me is the fact that Sunni was, in fact, working with Destiny on Love and Marriage Huntsville set, and now she's married to her castmate's ex-boyfriend. Efforts to give clarification in reference to the timeline between she and Moses, she went live on Instagram, and this is what she had to say.
Nobody, you know what I'm saying? There's always something, a reason. There's always more than one side to the story. She said you told her when y'all got serious, but you felt you should have told you when you first started dating. Would that have made a difference? Why you see it? Let's be clear, because when I told her, at least I told her, right? So would that really have made a difference if I told her the day we said, okay, let's start dating? Because I don't think it would. The anger would still be there. The hurt, the frustration, I think would still be there. I don't think that she would change. It seemed like Destiny tried to question your credibility as producer. Lady, I was a great producer. That's why I was invited back. Let's be clear. One of the only producers that was producing at that time invited back to the show because I'm really good at my job. I do this with passion. Let's be clear. See, a lot of people do this stuff because it's a check and they get wrapped up in, ooh, I want to get a check. I do this because this is my passion. And Love and Marriage money, when I was making that money, I didn't even cash my check because I loved it so much. I had a business career outside of that.
Foremost, let's get another interviewer because she kept cutting her off. She was speaking to people as they were coming into the chat, which is a pet peeve of mine. If somebody is talking, it is rude, and it shows a level of disrespect when someone is trying to explain whatever it is that they're talking about, and then they get cut off by foolishness. That could have waited. On to say that Destiny said that she was dating Moses for 15 years, which means that she had to been dating Moses as he was married because Moses was divorced in 2018. She also said that she, gave her a heads up and it wouldn't have made a difference whether or not Destiny knew in the beginning, in between, in the middle, or the end. Destiny was going to be upset. And I have to question that. If you know that Destiny was going to be upset, regardless of the time frame that you gave her the news, it tells me that you have a conscience and you are aware of the optics surrounding your relationship with Moses. Goes on to say how she got her roots in entertainment, how she was in Hollywood previous to coming to Love and Marriage Huntsville. She also talked about the fact that Destiny was the one that chose her as their producer. Well, she was one of the ones that chose Sunni because she was really, really good at what she does. Also, she said that she rooted for Black women and she would never want to see a woman being kicked while she's down. I'm not sure of the timeline between Moses and Sunni and Destiny, but I definitely feel like Sunni is leaving a big piece of this story out. It's something about this story that just doesn't seem right to me. I may not all the way root for Destiny. She may not be like my number one pick. I may not see it for Destiny all the time, but one thing about it, I cannot like you, like your ways, and see when you're being done wrong. Again, we don't really know the timeline between Destiny and Moses because the show hadn't played out all the way. And the common denominator is sounding like Moses. So let's see. He's capable of dating while he's married. He's also capable of dating women for more than 15 years, just Destiny aside. He's able to keep up side chicks for 15 years as he move on with other women. How do we not know that there's a Destiny lurking around your marriage? Being married, Sunni, being married is no longer a flex. Being happily, truthfully, blissfully married is a flex. I'm going to do a separate video for Destiny Payton because there's some things I need to break down in reference to how she's getting her karma. And she's not going to see it either because she's much like Sunni. Makes sense why Moses chose Sunni because they're one of the same, whether they see it or not. But Sunni, you sat around that woman for years, listened to her deepest, darkest secret. Even if she wasn't talking to you about Moses, that's neither here or there. You were still associated with this woman. You knew that she had feelings for him. So therefore, I would think, girl code 101, he's off limits. And just professionally, I wouldn't see someone that's working for me as a potential love interest. That means that you guys probably had the googly eyes for each other from the moment that you guys met. Because I would be interested to know, how did the conversations kick off between Sunni and Moses? Did he approach her or was it the other way around? Because if he approached her, that's his MO. I'm reading Sunni is that she got street smarts. She may even have book smarts. But when it comes to love, I don't think she's that wise at all. That majority of the relationships that Sunni was in previous to Moses, they ended because she was being taken for a fool. She was probably the fool in every last one of those relationships. She said the reason why her relationship to Moses differs from that of Ariane and Martell is because she's not a home wrecker. She didn't take anybody's husband, and Destiny wasn't in a for sure relationship with Moses. Want a cookie for being a decent woman? For not taking it that far? I think what it is because you wasn't dating him while he was married. Then you think that you get a pass in essence, or that's probably how you're able to sleep at night, or that's maybe a conversation that you and Moses have sat down and talked about, and he's eased your fears a bit to give you enough courage to come out here in the public to defend your marriage. But I'm here to tell you, even though you may not have broken up a home, even though you may not have took the steps that Ariane did to ensure that you lock down this man, is still giving desperate and is still giving delusional. And to me, you have the traits of that of Ariane Curry. You may not go full-fledged, but it's in there. Goes on to try to insult Destiny by saying that Moses didn't even think that much of her to put a ring on it, that he invested, time with her, and therefore he made the decision to marry her. Could have been just the opportunity, ma'am, because as I stated, you seem like you have book smarts and maybe a little bit of street smarts, but when it comes to love, I think you jump on the first thing that feels good. First thing a person does when they're guilty or they're feeling bad about something, instead of coming out and taking accountability as they should as a grown-ass woman. At this point, you're married to him, so who really cares at this point? But if you're going to explain it, just don't leave nothing out is what I would suggest. Also, she kept saying, oh, well, she spent all that time with Moses and Moses didn't even marry her. Ma'am. Okay. You know how easy it is to get married, you guys? In certain states, it's like $30 to get a marriage license. It's nothing to get married these days. But it takes a lot to stay married. So we shall see how this Moses and Sunni story ends. Though Sunni has her purple shades on right now, so everything is purple. Everything is great. It's y'all against the world, right? Because most people, they dream about being married one day. That's their existence. That's all they've talked about to their friends. That's what they wanted. That's what they put on their vision board. And then when they get that man, they want to hold on to that man regardless of his faults. But I'm going to say this, you don't never love a man more than he love you. I'm going to say that again. Never love a man more than he love you. Sunni, you making a big mistake. You making this is probably going to be the worst mistake you ever made in your life. You caping for a man that's not even capable of giving us more than 2 words on screen when it comes to your defense. Because as far as the screenshots, now we haven't seen all of it, but as far as the clips that we've seen, he ain't really got no defense other than, oh, well, I just fell in love, or you're lying, Destiny. But what happens when there's more? What happens when there's more than just Destiny that you have to defend him against? The reason why the Candy and Ty Tucker relationship made sense is because he wasn't dating and neither was she. You said that you were dating a now single Moses. Well, at the time, I'm sorry, y'all. At the time, she said Moses was single. At least that's what he was telling her. But we also know that he's capable of keeping up with a side chick for more than 15 years, even while being married, because he got divorced in 2018. So even if you're alluding to the fact that Destiny was that of a side chick for Moses, are you not least bit worried that he could possibly do the same thing to you? But people get cocky. They feel confident in their relationship. They believe everything their spouse tells them. And I'm gonna tell you this, when you walk around in a bubble, a delusional bubble like that, just telling yourself lies to make yourself feel good, that's when the devastation sit in way worse than a person that's aware, intuitive, and following their instincts. Where is your integrity? Where is your dignity? Where is your respect for your damn self? To have a man to coach you into dating him after dating your cast member, knowing, we all know, should know at this point, that producers not only act as producers, they act as counselors, they act as, your friend. So now we know you're good at acting, so maybe you will fit in with the Love and Marriage Huntsville crew, because we know that Martell has told us several times that you guys act. Nevertheless, there was a woman by the name of Color Me Pink who came out months ago and outed you, Sunni, and said that she actually went to school with you, and this is your MO as well, that you like dating other men, people around you and your friendship, your friend circle. That's what y'all were known for in that area, and I'm inclined to believe that.
Some people we went to school with, I'm not going to name their names because they're not in the public eye,
But they were like, she was either a grade or two under us. I found out that allegedly, I'll say that this isn't the first time that Sunny has done this with other people's men. And granted, they were broken up, but it's still very snake-like and shady and sneaky to befriend this girl and then start dating her ex.
Allegedly, Sunny told Destiny that Moses was her cousin. So it's not like you didn't know those two had something going on. Also, Destiny, you're going to have to answer these allegations that you was a side chick for 15 years out of a 17-year-long marriage. How was that possible? There's no way you didn't know either. Like, come think about it. There's no way you did not know that man was married. Okay? You probably was the reason why he got divorced, and it's probably why LeBaric is treating you the way he is. Allegedly, Sunny told Destiny that Moses was her cousin. He had Kyle on the show, and we didn't believe her at first, right? I want to hear from Moses' ex-wife. These people ain't talking about shit. Moses, Sunny, nor Destiny. Go ahead, pop that bubble, ex-wife, unless you just don't want to be associated. Or DM me. I won't tell a soul. It's so many people that come to my DMs and tell me so much about this cast. I don't release it. I promise. My lips are damn sealed. Let's talk about Latisha Scott and the post that she made on Instagram in reference to the melometers showing up to her house. Listen, I do not agree with that. If you're doxing people showing up to their homes, their establishments, I don't agree with that. Like, let's keep it online, only online, because I don't want nobody running up on me. You might get your ass bust, but I'm just saying. Don't do that, y'all. That's dangerous. You're putting yourself in harm's way. You don't know if people dealing with PTSD or if they're just paranoid and they may make a mistake of, unaliving you. Just don't do that. It's an invasion of privacy. Nobody wants to be at home while their spouse is away, worried about somebody being in the bushes. I have heard the stories on TikTok. Okay. I've heard the stories of people being in their homes. There's this woman named Shay Hilson. I think that's her name. She's the Apple Store girl. They have been harassing that woman for years, and they've now went into her evicted home and posted all her pictures online. And they even called the Burger King one time when she was sitting there trying to have something to eat. They called Burger King and got her kicked out because they just do not like her that much. It is possible for people to get a little bit too attached to certain cast members on these shows, and they really think they know them, or on social media, these parasocial relationships, and they take it way too far. So don't do that if this is true. All my Tink supporters, okay, y'all? I need to come up with a name. Y'all tell me what y'all think. But anyways, if y'all see some new content pop up on the channel, I would truly appreciate it if you just engage with it. Just sit it down, let it play, child, and hit like and write you a little comment. Now, sometimes my app has been acting up a lot lately. So when I post the what's supposed to be the edited version of my videos, it's popping up the unedited. So you're hearing the audio repeat, the audio issues and all that. That's supposed to be cleaned up, but for some reason when I download it, it sounds one way to me, and then when I post it, it's a whole nother way. Nevertheless, I'm working through some kinks, but I am trying to introduce more content on my page because I don't want to just stick to Love and Marriage Huntsville, you guys. I understand majority of y'all came over here to hear my commentary because I be eating their ass up sometimes because they be getting on my nerves, and I totally understand. Love and Marriage Huntsville started off really, really good, but at this point, we have to give it a rest. We know at this point it's going to be the same ass storylines. We have Ken and Tish that's talking about, well, the rumors are Tish has her side chick has her side dude on the show, but she's actually in a long-term marriage. We've heard this before, guys, but I did say I would keep up with the rumors and the speculations that's happening online, such as Maurice Scott and his $5 million lawsuit, which we will get into in another video. Let's get to Latisha. But if y'all see some new content, please hit like, comment, engage for me, push it through the algorithm so we can get more people over here, and so that we can talk about other things, because I have range now. Check my TikTok. We talk about it all. Anyways, Latisha says, and I don't know who she was talking to, but she says, from experience of y'all, I guess the millimeters, y'all are not happy, not whole, and are haters. That's coming from a rich place, Latisha. You're not whole either now. But anyway, she said, you may be different, but when you have someone calling my job, emailing me, and coming to my home, that's a whole nother level. Well, no, whole a lot of craziness and unhappiness. Is it? We have Maurice and Marceau that has a relative that's been on Instagram that's been trolling Mel for years. I would say months because I just found out about it some months back and he's still doing it to this day. We have Marceau that went live to say that he hated everybody. We have Wanda that has a YouTube channel that's always spilling y'all tea and talking a little too much, really getting y'all in a world of trouble. By the way, I think the recent news in reference to Wanda is that she admitted to following or tracking certain content creators. Yeah, that's one. And then we have content creators who reportedly had to hire their own bodyguards because of the stuff that was going on behind the scenes with your cast members. Maybe even your husband, we don't know. But I do know it has something to do with that Maurice lawsuit. Now that's craziness. So while we can throw that word around and we could project and we could point fingers at everybody else that's making your life a living hell because we know that's what you like to do, don't want to accept no accountability nowhere, no how. It's probably the energy that you possess in your whole ass being. So maybe reevaluate your energy. Nevertheless, this is what this person responded with. You can't put everyone in the same category. I don't condone that type of behavior, and I'm sorry you had to experience that. And she continues and says that I also seen some non-melometers call you and your mother's phone on YouTube, and she's not lying because I remember seeing AL do that, and I was wondering what the hell was that about. It was weird. It was out of nowhere, and then he just hung up. Used to say that people had showed up to Destiny's open house, right, in general. So people are crazy in general, and I have to agree because I remember when Funky Dineva went to Shari Whitfield's land where she was building Chateau Shari before it was like finished, and he was trolling her, and I believe they ended up in court behind that. Blame game / planting of the seed begins. I would not be surprised, not saying that they are, that some of these people on Love and Marriage Huntsville cast that despise Mel the most and her fan base that's really jealous because, at first they were calling her the post queen because she was capitalizing of her opportunity to be on a platform such as OWN, and she would post and she would promote as you should. And I feel like because she's had a 8-season start. Whereas if they started now, they're really behind on gathering their fan base and making it strong and secure enough to carry on even after the show. But nevertheless, I remember a few months ago when they were saying to be careful of the stories that was coming out against certain content, Love and Marriage Huntsville cast members because they were planting fake stories so that you could talk about it, debate you in, to strike your channel, to take your channel down, or even sue you, and here we are, right? So I would not be surprised if some of these cast members are emailing themselves, calling each other block, just so they can set the stage for a lawsuit, or just so that they can be able to say, oh, well, it's melometers, because of certain stuff that they're saying in the email. But hope y'all stop going to these people's houses, though. Like, that weirds me out. Why do you feel the need to drive to somebody's house? I just don't understand the logic behind that. You get yourself unalived doing stuff like that. I don't agree with that 100%. Nevertheless, we know what time it is. We know what time it is. We know exactly what the plan is. It's to make Mel so uncomfortable that she either quit or she just move on to other things. But what they don't understand is if Mel decides to leave this show is going to crash and burn. Look at the characters that's coming out. We have Destiny, Moses, Sunny, and then we have Tish and Ken and Stormy, and then we have Kimmy, Maurice, and Martin. Nobody's interested at all. Like, even when nobody's interested. Y'all tell me what y'all thoughts and opinions about Latisha and her comments about the melometers coming up to her house. And what do y'all feel about the Sunni Minx situation? I've seen some mixed reviews, so I'm already kind of knowing what to expect. Nevertheless, these are my opinions, my thoughts, my viewpoints. This isn't to steer or persuade, cause hate or divide, division, any of that. It's just for me to give my commentary on what I've been seeing.